What's up, guys? Until Nick here, and welcome to my review of Rhythm Heaven Megamix. Now, this game came out about a month ago on the eShop back at E3, and they basically just released it out of nowhere. They're like, yeah, it's out now. And once I heard that, I just went to my 3DS and bought it immediately. Because if you don't know me and my channel, I absolutely love the Rhythm Heaven series. And I did a Let's Play of 2 of the 3 games that were out before this game came out. And it's just such a great game. But if you don't know what Rhythm Heaven is, it is, as you can tell by the title, a rhythm game. And really fun and addicting, and it's very simple too. It's fun for all ages. All you really have to do is just press the A button to the rhythm of each and every different level. And there's going to be a different rhythm for each level. And each level has its own unique art style to it and theme to it. You could be doing you could be clapping for some girl and be playing as monkeys. You can be punching pots. You can be hitting just a baseball. It can be as easy as hitting a baseball, or it can be as complex as killing bacteria with tiny forks. And it is a bit weird, but it just goes so well with the rhythm, and the game just has so much character to it. And it's just really awesome, and I absolutely love it. By the way, this gameplay isn't mine because I don't have a 3DS capture card. I'm just borrowing it to have gameplay in the background while I'm reviewing it. Anyway, I'm kind of pissed off about the game because the game actually came out a year ago in Japan. This is the Japanese version as you're watching right now, and it came out a year ago, and now they're like, okay, yeah, this game is great and we should now bring it everywhere else. But it took them a whole full year to bring this to worldwide, which doesn't really make any sense, and they didn't really make any changes because sadly the 2 out of the 3 remixes, or actually all the remixes with the Japanese vocals of the songs, they didn't translate them at all, and they just had the background music. But you can choose between the Japanese and the English audio, so you can actually hear the Japanese lyrics, but I don't know why they were too lazy to not translate it. But anyway, I haven't even talked about the game yet. So Rhythm Heaven Megamix combines all 3 Rhythm Heaven games. So if you don't know, the other 3 Rhythm Heaven games came out about 10 years ago, all 3 of them at separate dates. The first one came out, actually was exclusive to Japan, and that one was on the Game Boy Advance, called Rhythm Tengoku. And I actually did a Let's Play of that, which is the English translation, which is Rhythm Heaven Silver Edition. Then the second game that came out, which was worldwide, I'm pretty sure, and that was Rhythm Heaven on the DS. And then the third game was Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii. And all 3 games are just fantastic, and I absolutely love them. They are a bit challenging, though. This probably is the easier of the 4 games, I guess, now that this game came out. But yeah, this game combines all 3 of them, plus more, and each, there's different stages, and if you know Rhythm Heaven, there's 4 stages and then a remix stage. And here, it's the same thing, but instead, the first game is one of the best levels from Rhythm Tengoku. Then the second one is from Rhythm Heaven on the DS, and the third one is from Rhythm Heaven Fever, and then the fourth one is completely new. And I love how they did that, basically from order from oldest to newest, and I absolutely love how they did that. Anyway, so the game is fantastic, and they added a lot of stuff here which just made the game even better than the old ones. One, for instance, is they added a retry button. Yes, I know that's not a big deal, but they added a retry button after 4 games. The first game didn't have it, the second game didn't have it, and the third game didn't have it. But now they finally added a retry button, so thank you for that. But they finally added that. The other thing that they added was on the bottom screen, you can actually see how well you did. So like there'll be like fireworks of stars, as you can see on the gameplay right here. And if you get like a rainbow of stars, that means you hit it perfectly, and it's also called an ace. Then if it's like a little bit to the left side, then you did a little bit too early. And if it's on the right side, then you did a little bit too late. And if it's like a red mark, that means that you missed it and you were either a little bit too late or a little bit too early. And I love how they did that, because usually it's the same beats. There are some off beats in some levels, but it's usually constant beats. And so if you like hit it a bit too early, you can be like, oh, maybe I'll give it a little bit more time, and then you can get those ace, which really help out, especially in perfect mode, or getting perfects, and also in challenge mode, which I'll talk about later. The other thing that they added was the scoring system. Before, it used to be you either got try again, okay, and superb, and there's no difference with this game either. But the thing that they added was they actually scored you from a scale of 1 to 100, and you can actually see how well you did. So like you could have been really close to an okay, and you can actually see that. And you get scored. So 60 points is an okay, 80 points is a superb, and then below 59 or below, you get a try again. And they can actually boosts up your score if you do really well. Like if you get a try again. I don't know why, I guess just to make the game easier. Because I remember I got to try again, but then like it said you did really well. It boosted up my score to an okay. And yeah, that's another thing that added. And then the last thing that they added were these things called skill stars. Now these stars, like it's in the, I think, upper left hand corner in the touchscreen, and it'll be either black or gold. Black being you missed it, or gold being that you got it. And these skill stars are usually the offbeats of the level, and they're pretty hard to get actually. In some levels they're really hard to get, and thank God they added the retry button, because like once I missed it, I retried and tried it again, and it actually helps you get that offbeat, because you see the little star pieces aligning all together in the middle of the bottom screen, and once you see that, you actually just press A, and it actually helps out a lot. But it's kind of cheating, but it's helping because they're offbeats and they're actually pretty hard to just hit them alone, not to get a perfect. Which I also forgot to mention is that you actually have to, you don't have to hit the beat of the skill star, but you actually have to get a perfect on it, also known as an ace, and it's really hard for some levels, but other levels can be easy. Anyway, I'll talk about the story now. So this game actually has a story. Unlike the other 3 games, you just went in and got your flow better and just have a fun time. But in this game, there's actually a story, and it's this guy named Tibby, I think, and he dropped down from Rhythm Heaven World, and you have to help him get back up. And you find a tree in the distance, and you start heading over there, and there's a bunch of gates that are blocking your way to get to that tree. And then you have like all these different characters that greet you, and they're like, you can't get past my gate unless you help me get my flow back. And then you do some levels and get past the gate. And then every 2 gates, there's actually a gatekeeper gate, where there's 3 gatekeepers. Their name's Saffron, which is the yellow one, the blue one's Saltwater, and then the red one, Paprika, which all 3 of them have the same level, but they're different levels of difficulty. So Saffron is the easiest, but I forgot to mention also there's coins, and he costs the most coins to play though. And then Saltwater is in between, and then Paprika is the hardest, but it costs the least amount of coins to play. So anyway, I guess I should talk about the coins now. So every time you beat a level, you get coins, and these coins can be used for the cafe, which I'll talk about later. And they also can be used to buy like plays for the gatekeepers. And I don't really know why they added that. I guess another use for the coins. But you get 1 coin if you fail it, which is try again. You get 2 coins for getting okay, and you get 3 coins for superb. You also get another coin if you get a skill star, and you get a couple coins depending on how hard it is if you get a perfect on it. So yeah, these coins can buy you rhythm items, rhythm the music. It can buy you plays in the challenge mode, which I'll talk about later. It can buy you turn-ups, which I'll also talk about later. There's a lot to talk about this game, but yeah, there are coins in here, and it's kind of, I don't really like it that much because sometimes you have to grind for coins and then go play some challenges or to get 100% this game. But it's not that bad because this game is amazing and I love every single level. So it's not that bad, but it can be annoying. Anyway, so the thing about the gatekeepers too is that the levels that you play for the gatekeeper, saffron, saltwater, and paprika, they're actually the rhythm toys from the other games. So the first one is coin toss, which is from which is the rhythm toy for Rhythm Heaven on the DS. The second one is I think it's like oh yeah, that's Sick Beats, which is actually called Dr. Bacteria, which is in the Rhythm Tengoku, and it's an endless game in also, but it's actually a level in Rhythm Tengoku. And then the third one is, I think it's like Chicken Car or something like that. It's like a chicken in a car, and you have to like fuel it up for a certain amount of beats to land on this patch of grass where the rest is falling platforms. And so there's that, and that's actually a rhythm toy in Rhythm Heaven Fever, which is the toy car. And it's pretty cool how they add that, because in this game there's actually no rhythm toys and no endless games except for the 3 gatekeepers. Actually there's 4, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, then later on you go to these towers. So the first one is the tree that Tibby was looking at, and you go up the tree and you get your first remix, which is actually a Lush remix. And that's when you first start the remixes in the towers. And there's just a lot of content, because you don't even start off with, after completing 4 games, you don't get a remix. You have to complete, it's I think 30, actually no, it's 24 levels, and then you start going to the remixes. And there are a lot of levels, but the thing is that the first 4 gates, not counting the gatekeeper, the first 4 gates are actually completely new. So like the first level, for instance, is Karate Man, and it's supposed to be based off of Rhythm Tengoku's Karate Man, but yet it's not that level at all. Instead, it's a shorter, easier version for newcomers, like people that haven't played the series before. And I really like how they did that, because it gives you a gradually higher difficulty curve, starting you off with really easy stuff, being really short, and having not that many beats. But then later on, once you get to the 5th gate, they start giving you the real levels, which is really well done how they did that. Anyway, later on in the game you get the cafe, which is in every single game, every single Rhythm Heaven game, and so it's in this game too. And you can talk to Barista, which is the little dog with the headphones. And then there are a lot of stuff in the cafe, actually. Unlike the other games, you can in the other games you could like listen to the music. You can do some other things, but not much you can do in there. And I like how they added, it's only the cafe. Unlike other games, you had other menus, you had the rhythm toys and the endless games, but it's just into one place now, and just a cafe. So on the left side of the cafe, you have this goat, and you don't really know, you can't do anything in the beginning once you unlock the cafe, but later on you can actually feed the goat turnips, and you get turnips from this little garden that you have, and every level that you play you get 2 turnips, and you just pluck them, and it's basically a little mini game with it's like a pachinko mini game for you just launch the turnips and try and feed the goat, and then every 10 levels you actually get a mascot, which are the gatekeepers, and once you get that, it's just basically another loading screen, or like it has like a little circle for the loading screen with a different character. Now once you get the goat, every 10 levels you get a mascot, which I mean is pretty cool, because like it gives you more content and stuff to do, and it gets really hard actually to feed the goat. Like sometimes like the goat will be moving, other times there'll be like invisible barriers that will try and deflect your turnip from going the right way. And it's really fun actually, and it's really the only extra game that's in there. But then all the way on the left side, so like a little bit more to the left side, you have this Street Pass Terrence, which is based off of this one level called Figure Fighter from Rhythm Heaven Fever, and you're basically punching these air pumps and trying to pop each other's balloon, which is attached to the little Figure Fighter toy, and it's actually really well done. So it's basically Figure Fighter, but you're going against someone, and I really like how they did that, and it makes me even better at Figure Fighter than I already was. But I kind of wish that like it was not just Figure Fighter, so that I could get like better at other things too. But it's really hard once you get to the harder gatekeepers, because you don't have to have Street Pass from someone who has the game. You actually get other gatekeepers that come to the Street Pass Terrence, and they have like little rewards once you beat them. Like they'll have a chest near their name, and in that chest you can have turnips or coins, which actually helps out a lot. And I like how they did that, and they did it really well. And it's actually really hard though once you get to the final boss. It's probably one of the hardest final bosses in any game. It's not really a final boss, but it's the final character that you fight against in the Street Pass Terrence, which is Barista, and she's really hard, or he, I don't know, but she's really hard to like fight against, because it'll show if you have an ace if you hit the air pump, like, and like white stars come out, and Barista gets like an ace every single time, and it's so annoying. But anyway, on the right side of the cafe, you have the shop where you can buy the rhythm items, the music, and more rhythm games, which are which you have to buy in with flow balls, which you get from the challenge mode, which I'll talk about later. And these rhythm games are the ones that didn't make it into the game, but are like just extra from the other games. They're like you have like games like Love Rap, Built to Scale from Fever. You have Nightwalk, Bouncy Road, and a bunch more. And it's kind of disappointing because like later on the all the way to the right side, you have this curator, and you actually have badges, which are basically achievements, and one of the achievements is to play every game, and that counts towards every game. You have to get every single Rhythm Heaven game, and it's really hard to get that because you have to get all the flow balls, and that's in challenge mode, and challenge mode is just really hard. And so I haven't even played all the games, but yet I have, because I've played them on the either the DS, the Wii, or the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, it's just really annoying. And then the other achievements are like get to level 10 with the Turnip Goat, beat 5 people in the Street Pass Terrence, like beat Lush Tower, which is the first tower that you go to with the first remix. Another achievement is like beat Saffron World, which is the first world in challenge mode. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So the other thing that they added to this game are challenges. So in the challenge mode, there are 3 worlds. You first start off with Saffron World, and the challenges are pretty easy. They're simple levels, and they're not anywhere different from how they are in the real game. But the challenges are either you have 3 lives, which you have, it's basically getting a perfect, but you have 2 chances to miss if you need them. The other challenges are the Monster Maw, which has the big screen, but then it's slowly getting smaller and smaller, and then you see this like giant dragon about to eat it. But in order to prevent it from eating, you have to get a certain amount of aces, and every time you get an ace, the screen gets a little bit bigger so that it doesn't get eaten. And that's probably one of the hardest, because you can be like really close to getting an ace, but then if you don't get a certain amount of aces, you fail, and it's kind of hard. Then the third type is score limit, where you have to get a certain amount of points to beat it. Like you'll say like score up to 80 points or score up to 75 points in order to beat the challenge. Those are the 3 types of challenges. But so the first world is very easy, and once you get to the second world, it gets a bit challenging. But then once you get to the third world, it's just insane, because every level has tempo up, which makes the level much faster and basically much more different than how you are used to it. It's just like mirror mode for Mario Kart, but much harder than mirror mode. Because mirror mode doesn't mess with you that much, but this tempo up messes with me so much. Anyway, talking about tempo up, the thing that was really disappointing for me, not actually that much disappointing, but a thing that disappointed me a little bit was that none of the remixes were tempo up. Like none of them went like super fast, because if you know Rhythm Heaven on the DS and Rhythm Heaven Fever, both Remix 8 for Rhythm Heaven Fever and Remix 8 for Rhythm Heaven on the DS, they are both super fast. Actually, the one on the DS was super fast, but the one on the Wii was a bit slower than the one on the DS. But I just loved it, and it was really awesome how they added that. But I guess challenge mode makes up for it, having every level tempo up once you get to the third world. And you get flow balls every time you beat the challenges, so that's good. But the thing with the challenging mode is that you have 3 lives, and like 3 lives for your train, because you're like riding this train and going further and further into the to get the flow ball. And it can range from either 3 levels to, I think you can go up to 8 levels, I think, and you have to go through it with only 3 lives, and it's crazy, especially once you get to the last world. Anyway, I guess that's about it for talking about the game. So I guess I'll talk about my opinions. So yeah, this game is really great. I love the new levels. They're all very unique and different from the older ones, and they really didn't add much to the older levels that are from DS, Game Boy Advance, and the ones on the Wii. The only difference is that the first 4 gates, so like Air Rally, like something like Air Rally filled bots, got a bit more simpler and easier, and basically gave it a little bit more of a new level. But I love how they added all 4 of them, all 4 different games basically, and added a remix to them, and just like so awesome. Like you wouldn't expect having Philbots be with Air Rally until now. Like, I mean, this game adds all 4 games into one basically, and that's the game. But it's just amazing how they add it into a remix, and they do it so well. Like every remix is just so good, and I absolutely love them. Like for instance, my favorites are like Barbershop remix. That one's so good, and I love Songbird remix too, and they're so good. They go well so together. I can't even speak. They go so well together, and I just can't believe how they didn't do that before. You know, because like this is the first time where they actually have different rhythm levels from different games, and now they're combining it into a remix, and I would never expect that to happen, but they finally did it, and it's just awesome. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about this game. Just really awesome. I love the introduction to the new levels, and the old levels are just as good as how they were on the Game Boy Advance, DS, and Wii. And it's by far my favorite Rhythm Heaven game now, because not only did they add three of the games into one, but they added more, and there's just so much content in this game, and yet it's $10 cheaper than a regular 3DS game. And the only bad part about it is that it's only downloadable so far, and in the European region it's being released in October, which I really feel bad for them, because this is just such a great game, and I recommend it to anyone. Like, it's good for all ages. It's $10 cheaper. It has so much content. I mean, the only thing that I would think of that you wouldn't buy this game is that if you don't have enough like room on your SD card, which is probably the only bad thing. But like, I love how it's downloaded though, because having Rhythm Heaven everywhere you go basically is the best, instead of like perhaps like leaving it at home because you have a different game in your game cartridge. But since it's downloaded, you always have it with you if you have your 3DS with you, and it's so good. The only problem is that you have to have your full attention to this game if you want to do really well on it. So that's the only thing that I have against this game, is that you have to have your full attention to it. You have to have like headphones plugged in, maximum volume basically, and if you want to like do good on the challenges and all that stuff, you really have to have all your attention focused on this game. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say about this game. The only disappointments that are that they didn't translate the vocals for 2 remixes, and that's about it. I mean, everything else is perfect, and I recommend this game to anyone because it's great for all ages. Like, seriously. Anyway, also the thing that they added was also God, I can't speak. Sorry. Anyway, the thing that they added here too was in the DS game and the Game Boy Advance game and the Wii game, they all had different controls. But here it's the button controls you start off with, but once you get the cafe and the options menu, you can switch to the tap controls, which was on the DS. Personally, I like the buttons better because I didn't really like the tapping when you hold the DS sideways. I don't know if it's like holding your DS sideways that messed me up, or the tapping. I just didn't like it, and I didn't like it on the DS. So, also the other thing was that my touchscreen was getting scratched up from getting too intense to the rhythm. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Like, I covered almost everything, so yeah, that's my review on Rhythm Heaven Megamix, and let me know in the comments below how well I did on reviewing this game, because this is my first review, like I said in the beginning of the video. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more things Nintendo right here on Nintendo Nick. Bye.